Addiction took our mother slowly. She would sleep deeply in her bed and her back teeth fell out, which she left by the bathtub. I was 7 years old and kept them in a matchbox, thinking it would keep parts of her safe. Our house fell apart, but Annie and I tried our best to take care of ourselves. Annie made it feel like a home. Annie, my sister, took care of me. She put Band-Aids on my bruises and made microwave meals. She told me ghost stories and let me sleep in her bed when I was scared. We danced barefoot in the living room to loud music. She always let me shower first so I could have hot water and didn't mind the cold water for herself. She brushed my hair every day before school, even when it hurt and I cried. Keeping up with our mother was impossible. We knew we would always be left behind, but it didn't make it easier. When she drank lightly, she was happy and would wake us up at 3 a.m. for pancakes. Sometimes, she would take us to the beach instead of sending us to school. When she drank heavily, she would be out all night with her hair done up and eyes glittery. She'd disappear for a day or two, leaving a note with a lipstick kiss saying she'd be back soon. When she drank too little, she fell apart, didn't buy food, and barely slept. It was worst when she drank too much. She would laugh too long and then cry into her breakfast. Annie would shut down when Mom was like this, and I would cry, thinking Mom wouldn't wake up. Annie would comfort me and say Mom was just sleeping. When we were older, I picked Mom up from the bathroom floor, and Annie put her to bed, cleaned her up, and took care of her like a mother. In October, when I was 13 and Annie was 16, Mom had been gone for 2 days. She called that morning, sounding drunk, saying she was having fun and hoped I was enjoying my birthday. My birthday was the day before, and Annie had given me presents and made a cake. We went to the beach with Jane and had cake with sand in the frosting, which tasted sweet and salty. We watched the sunset, and I wished Mom wouldn't come back. That night, Annie and I weren't speaking. Annie tripped at the bottom of the stairs and we laughed, but when I smelled whiskey on her breath, I got angry. She reminded me of Mom. I ran to the kitchen and poured out all the liquor. Annie tried to stop me and we broke a bottle on the floor. I cried, and Annie picked up the pieces, always trying to fix things. Annie cooked pasta for dinner, and we ate in silence while listening to Tammy Wynette. I forgave her with each bite because she wasn't like Mom. After dinner, we heard crying from the backyard. I thought it was the neighbor's kid, Mika, or the cat, Lucky Strike. Annie and I went outside, and I made up stories about constellations like we used to do. Annie suggested we make a wish. The crying got louder, and we realized it was a person. I thought it might be Mika and went to check, but when I stepped off the porch, I saw someone crouching by the fence pretending to cry like a child. They stood up tall and thin, not normal. Annie told me to get inside, and we ran in, locking the door behind us. We watched as the person slowly approached the house. Like the story? Subscribe for more. Like, share, and comment below. Stay tuned for more great content.